Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unit 3 Global Conflicts. In this unit, you're gonna essentially be picking up exactly where you left off with the kind of end of World War One. You were looking at kind of the interwar period, and now you're actually going to look at what happens when things go really, 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 really wrong, which happens during the Great Depression. The Great Depression did not just affect the United States, it affected the entire world. So, this unit will kind of talk a little bit about how the effect of the Great Depression pushed the world towards the Second World War. So that's what you get in lesson 11, the between the wars, kind of what's going on there. And then we get to World War II. World War II is starts for entirely different reasons than the First World War does, but it is pretty much a direct result of the First World War and of some of the decisions that were made after the First World War. So you'll look at the beginning about Japanese expansion, you'll look at the rise of fascism, and you will look at how the United States initially, just like in World War One, didn't want to be involved. They were trying to be isolationists and they were trying to stay out of it. But things expand, and eventually the United States doesn't really have a choice. You'll look at the European theater, so what's happening in Europe and in Northern Africa, because there's actually a lot of really important battles that happen in Africa during World War II. You'll look at the Holocaust, which I know is a very, very sensitive subject for a lot of people, but it is still really important to learn about. And in this lesson is where you'll have your discussion guide and focus notes. That discussion guide looks like this. Essentially, there is a page right here, the Holocaust in literature. Well, you'll learn about 3 different writers who were in the Holocaust in concentration camps. Um, Viktor Frankl and Elie Wiesel both survived those concentration camps, and Frank, who's very, very famous, did not. And so you can kind of see the differences in their writing and the differences in how they view their experience. So that's your discussion for this unit. Lesson 15, you get into the Pacific theater. So you get into talking about how the United States joined the war and was fighting against the Japanese in the Pacific. And then finally, the big thing in this one is, once again, your project that you've been doing throughout the entire course, another walkthrough for that rough draft. So this one will be pretty much almost your final draft. It'll be your rough draft, and then you'll polish it up a little bit before you turn it in at the end of the next unit. So that's Unit 3. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Dive right in and have fun. Thanks, guys.